Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you a strategy for over 2.5 goals that has a very high strike rate. So in order to be able to create this strategy, you need to have a Footy Amigo account, and you can create one for free if you don't already have one. So once you have your account created, I want you to navigate to the pre-match alert section, and this is where you can create as many pre-match strategies as you want. So to do that, I'm going to click on the green button that says add a new strategy, and then I'm going to give my strategy a name. For the purpose of this video tutorial, I'm going to name this strategy over 2.5 goals by Daniel. Then I'm going to click on next step. So this is where the fun actually starts, because I can add as many stats and rules as I want. The more rules I add, the more strict my strategy becomes. So the first rule I like to add is the matches played. I always like to see teams that have played at least 8 games this season. So I'm going to say the games played by the teams, as you can see, I've selected that, should be 8 and above. So for both teams overall, I'm going to add that rule. So my first rule is that the matches played by both teams played overall is between 8 and 60. So the next rule I'm going to add is the streak. So I really want to find games that these teams have had a streak of 2.5 goals in the last 5 games. So I'm going to select the stats called over 2.5 goals percentage in the last 5 matches. So I'm going to select that. I'm going to say the percentage of that should be 70% and above. Now you can drag this low or high as you want, but I'm going to keep mine at 70%. Then I'm going to click on add the rule. So the next rule I'm going to add is the goals. I'm going to add over 3.5 goals percentage stats. So I'm going to say the over 3.5 goals percentage for both teams should be 60 and above. So I'm really trying to filter out games or teams that has a high scoring history. So I'm going to click on add another rule. So 3 rules has been added so far. Then I'm going to add a final rule, and that rule is under our probability algorithm category. And the probability algorithm is something that is unique and can only be found on Footy Amigo, and it is powered by artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms. Once you create an account, you can come here and read this properly to see how the algorithm is structured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say the over 2.5 goals percentage of the probability should be 60% and above. Then I'm going to click add another rule, and now 4 rules has been added to my strategy. I think I'm going to stop here. I'm going to save my strategy now. So I'm going to click on next step, and I'll be able to select the outcome. The outcome is the market where I want to place a bet on. And by selecting an outcome, it allows me to be able to track how the strategy has performed in the past. So the outcome for this strategy is over 2.5 total goals. So I'm going to select that as my outcome and then click next step. So yeah, I can set what time I want to receive the alert. It could be an hour before the match starts. It could be 30 minutes. It could be 15 minutes. But I'm going to set mine to 30 minutes before the game starts. So we have all the rules already checked for you. So that is good. And then I'm going to click on finish and save. So once I click that, I'm going to get a message saying that my strategy has been created. So now I can just go by my day, and Footy Amigo will start to send me pics and alerts to my phone. But before I do that, I want to do something called back testing. This is where you start to see the power of Footy Amigo. So in order to do the back testing, all I have to do is navigate to the view button and click on the drop down, and then click on results. So now I'm going to be able to back test my strategy to see how it has performed in the past. So as I can see today, I haven't been sent any game because obviously we just created this strategy right now. So let's go to a day like on the 26th. And we can see that on this day, the strategy was only able to find 1 game in the hundreds of games being played on that day. It found 1 game that met my rules. And if I'd placed the bet on that, it would have been a win. So that is good. So if I go to a day like on the 25th, Christmas Day, obviously, there weren't a lot of games being played. So the strategy could not even find games on that day. And I'm sure it's going to be the same for 24th because it's Christmas Eve. And if I go to 23rd as well, no game was found. So 23rd to 25th, because it's the Christmas time, not a lot of games were actually found on these days. So let's go to a date like on the 22nd. So on the 22nd, we can see that the strategy found 5 games, and 3 were a win and 2 a loss. So what I can do now is I can say to myself that, okay, Maybe because I can see that this league didn't perform well because these guys lost, I can exclude that league from my strategy. So once I do that, it means that if I click on exclude now, it means that in the future, Footy Amigo will not send me any game from this league anymore. I can do the same for this league. If I click on exclude, I can click on that. And now in the future, I won't receive any game from this league anymore. So as you can see, just by back testing, I can go back and see leagues that didn't perform well or hasn't performed well to the set of rules and strategy that I've created. And let's go to a day like on the 21st. We can see no game was sent on the 21st. Okay, fine. 20th. Okay, it found a game. Now let's go to a day like on the 19th. We can see that on this day, 4 games, all wins. Okay, let's go to a date like 18th. We can see that on this day, it sends 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games, and all of them ended with over 2.5 goals. So let's go to a day like on the 17th, for example. We can see it only found 1 game. So as you can see, we can keep going far back as we want, and we can then decide to exclude any league. But from what we've seen so far, there are so many greens for this strategy. Now, some people might say, but on this day, it only sent 1 game. And the answer to that is the whole point of having a strategy is so that you are not placing hundreds of bets every day, because a smart and profitable person is going to tell you that it is better to place 1 smart bet per day than place 10, 20 bets that is not backed by stats. So on days such as this, where the strategy only sends you 1 game, it is way better to place 1 smart game per day and win than place 5, 10, 20 games that you don't even know if they're going to win or not. So the idea of having a strategy is not to be bombarded by games, but rather is to be only sent games that are high quality. So if we go to a day like on the 15th, we can see that on this day, 2 games would have been sent and the 2 of them would have been a win. If we go to a day like on the 14th, we can see that 1 game would have been sent. If we go to a day like on the 13th, we can see no game was found on that day. If we go to 12th, and we can see that out of all the games sent, all wins, 1 red. So I can say to myself, maybe I want to exclude this German league from my strategy so that in the future, Footy Amigo will not send me any game, because I can see that on this day, it didn't perform well. So the power is in your hands. You can exclude as many leagues as you want, and the more you exclude leagues, the smarter your strategy becomes. Now, if you click on the upcoming tab, you'll be able to see the games that will be sent to you for this strategy. So today, it's only going to send 2 games for this strategy. If I go to the next day, I can see that it's going to send about 5 games on this day. So if I go to on the 29th, I can see that on this day, it's going to be sent just 1 game. So the idea is to create a strategy, back test it, and then exclude leagues that hasn't performed well in the past so that you can place bets confidently when new alerts are sent to you in the future. So if you want this strategy, all you have to do is navigate to the betting systems page and look for this one called the over 2.5 goals system, and you're going to be able to import that system into your account, and you're going to start to receive alerts from that system. So that is exactly how you create an over 2.5 goal strategy as an example on footyamigo.com. You can do the same thing I've done for any market that you want. The goal here is simple. Create a strategy, set some rules, back test it to see how it has performed in the past, so you can have confidence on the strategy in the future, and you can exclude leagues that doesn't perform well. The more you exclude leagues, the smarter your strategy becomes. So that is an example of how you create a strategy on Footy Amigo. This example I've just shown is how to create an over 2.5 goal strategy, but you can use these to create any market strategy that you want because you have the power to back test the strategy to see how it has performed in the past so that you can have confidence when you get alerts for that strategy in the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, don't forget that you can always navigate to your profile and you can click on the Get Help tab and you can click on Start Live Chat and somebody's going to be there to answer any questions or any queries that you have. Thank you so much. Have a great day.